you need to pitch more, you need to create content that sells, you need to be consistent on social media. If you're a UGC creator, you probably heard that advice 1,000 times by now. But here's the truth. If you don't work on these 3 mindset shifts that I'm going to share in this video, you will always struggle to make money with UGC. But first, if you don't know me, hi, I'm Lou. I'm a full-time UGC creator and coach, and I help others turn their creativity into income. When I first started UGC, I was doing everything right on paper. I was pitching to brands, I was posting consistently, I was creating good content, but I still wasn't able to land paid brand deals consistently. And it wasn't until I started working on my mindset that everything changed. So in this video, I'm going to share the 3 mindset shifts that completely transformed my business and honestly my life. The first one is shifting from lack to abundance mindset. When I first started UGC, I had slow months at the beginning, which is normal. And I was just focusing on the fact that I wasn't able to land paid collabs. And I was really just waking up feeling low on motivation. I didn't feel like working. I was pitching to brands and I was wondering, why am I even doing that if it's not working? I was just so negative and I was focusing on what wasn't working instead of focusing on what could work. I remember I was obsessed with refreshing my inbox to see if I got some inbounds, just magically out of the thin air. And I remember sitting there and having literally no replies from pitching, no inbounds, and wondering, why me? What am I doing wrong? Why is it not working out for me? And I was just in this negative loop. You know that feeling when you're doing everything right, but you still feel like it's not working out? That's where I was. But the thing I didn't realize is that when you're focusing on lack, you're only gonna attract more of it because your energy shows it. When you're pitching to brands, you sound more desperate. You have this energy that shows that you need to get this brand deal to make it work. When you're posting content, you're just trying to force it, trying to make it work, and you come across as someone that needs the collab instead of someone that just feels excited about it. So in this phase of my journey, I realized I was in this negative loop and I decided to learn about mindset. So I read a lot of books and I watched a lot of videos about it. And I just decided to actively work on my mindset to shift from being in this negative loop of only seeing the bad things in my journey, and I really tried to focus on the positive. The first thing that I did was to practice gratitude daily. When I started my day, I was just journaling and I would write down 5 things that I was grateful for. I still do it to this day and I'm gonna do it all my life, because that helps you to just start the day in this really bright energy of gratitude, and you're just gonna attract more of it. So even if you wake up and you feel moody and you feel like you're not gonna have a good day, trust me, starting your day with 5 minutes journaling session, writing down what you're grateful for, can literally change your day. Another thing that helped was just to be mindful of my thoughts whenever I would start to focus on the lack and focus on how wrong things were going. I would literally just catch myself and be like, okay, that's not the way I want to talk to myself right now. So for example, if I was thinking, I don't know, like pitching is useless, I'm pitching to 50 brands per week and I'm not getting any answers, I would change this thought by, every time I send one pitch, I'm getting closer to the version of me that gets replies to pitching. And in the end, it's just the more you practice something, the better you get. So also every time I was just creating a video for a brand, I would just focus on the fact that, okay, maybe I wasn't where I wanted to be, but every action I was taking during the day was leading me to this version of me that had it all together and that was successful with UGC. So if you feel like you're in a phase of your life right now where you're doing everything right, but you feel like nothing is moving, take your journal every morning, write down 5 things you're grateful for, and always end with the sentence, I'm grateful for all the opportunities that are coming my way. Trust me, everything is gonna change. The second mindset shift you can work on is to rewire your limiting beliefs. For the longest time, I didn't even realize the amount of limiting beliefs that were just running in the background of my thoughts. Things like, I'm not talented enough, I'm not creative enough, I don't know how to talk to camera, I'm not good at expressing myself, I'm scared of showing up online. So many limiting beliefs. I could go on for hours, and I truly believed them and I couldn't see them. It was just buried in my unconscious mind, and that's the danger of it, that you have those beliefs there, and if you don't work on rewiring them, they're going to become true, and you're going to really fully believe in them so much that it's going to become your reality. So what we need to do is that we need to, first of all, uncover them. We need to find exactly what are those beliefs, because everyone is different. We all have different limiting beliefs depending on our childhood, what people told us, experiences we had in our life. So first we need to understand what are these limiting beliefs, and then we need to rewire them. We need to change them from this negative belief to a positive affirmation. The best way to do that is to take a paper and to be really honest with yourself and to write down all the things you believe about yourself. In this case, about content creation as well, about being creative. It can also be related to money. You can have some money blockages that are also stopping you from getting paid collabs. So you're just going to write down everything. More than 2 years ago, I wrote, I don't like looking at my bank account, I'm not creative enough for this job, I'm scared to be seen, I'm scared about what people might think of me, I need to work really hard in order to make a lot of money. When you have all your limiting beliefs listed, you're going to flip the page and you're going to write the opposite of each sentence on the back of the page. So, for example, if your first limiting belief was, I don't like looking at my bank account, when I flip the page, on the other side, I'm going to write, I love looking at my bank account. The same for the rest. For example, for another limiting belief that could be, I'm scared to be seen, I would flip the page and write, I am safe to be seen. So you're always going to write the opposite. And then what you want to do with this page, you want to maybe rewrite it on another page. Maybe you can write it in your journal. You're going to have a list of affirmations. And those are so powerful. It's good to do that, but the next step is to read them every day, or even to write them in your journal. Because it's by doing the repetition of it that it's going to really become your reality. You're not going to change all your limiting beliefs by just writing them once and then forgetting about them. You need to read them every single day, and I even suggest to place them in some places in your house that you see all the time. For example, you can place some on your mirror, on your fridge, on the door, wherever you want, but make sure that you're reading them every single day. And I can assure you that when you repeat those affirmations every day to yourself, they're going to become your reality. This is exactly what happened to me. I went from believing those things so deeply inside of me to now, actually, I struggle to remember those limiting beliefs when I'm making this video, because they're so far from my life now that I'm just like, okay, this really works. It really worked for me, and it works for so many people. So I think it's definitely worth giving it a try. The third and last mindset shift that changed everything for me was to stop caring what people think. Once again, I'm gonna give you my example from my journey, because I feel like this can be really helpful. When I started UGC, I was terrified of filming myself talking to camera. And I was even more terrified of posting that online. I was thinking, what if people see my video and they make fun of me? What if people from my hometown find this video? They're gonna make so much fun of me. They're gonna think that I'm so cringe. I was thinking the worst. I was really going to the worst case scenarios, and I was feeling so blocked. I was feeling so scared. And for some time, that stopped me from starting UGC or anything else that would be different from the traditional path. But you know what? One day I stopped and I realized, why am I letting people choose my path? Why am I letting imaginary opinions that I'm making in my mind stop me from building the life I want? That's the thing. We always think that people are always thinking about us and judging us. But you want to know what? people don't give a shit about you. They just care about themselves. They're just so stuck in their life, in their thoughts, that they don't care what you're doing with yours. Yeah, maybe they're gonna stop for a minute once in a while to make fun of you and to judge you, but they're gonna do it anyways. They're gonna do it if you have a 9 to 5, they're gonna do it if you're a content creator, they're gonna do it if you're a photographer, any job in the world. People will always judge you. So why would you let that stop you from literally being free and doing whatever the fuck you want? Sorry for the word. Like, at one point, I just realized that I was missing so much because I was thinking so much about people that don't care about me, that one day I just said, that's it. I'm gonna do it. No matter what. People are still gonna judge me, but at least I'm gonna make money from something that I truly enjoy instead of getting a 9 to 5 that I hate. So if you're holding yourself back from starting UGC or any other business actually, because you're worried about what others might think, remember this. The people who might judge you are not paying your bills. They're just on their couch with their phone, unhappy at their 9 to 5, and they don't have anything else to do in their life than to judge you. Are you gonna let these people tell you what to do? Are you gonna let these people influence you so much that you would just give up on your dreams and go the traditional path because they think it's the best way to do things? If you're here and you're watching this video, you know that you were meant for more. And you also know that you're not gonna let them stop you. So if you're feeling stuck in your UGC journey, I want you to actually take a step back and ask yourself, have I actually worked on my mindset? Because all the strategy in the world is not gonna help if deep down you don't believe that you're worthy of success. Start practicing gratitude on a daily basis, rewire those limiting beliefs, and stop caring what people think. Do this consistently for the next few months, and I promise your results will look completely different. If this video helped you, make sure to give it a like, subscribe for more content like that, and comment mindset if you want me to create a part 2 on mindset shifts that help me build my confidence as a UGC creator. And remember, your mindset is your most powerful strategy. The moment you'll start thinking differently, everything is gonna change.